Now, why did I choose Okta as my single sign-on when there's multiple types of single sign-on SaaS applications available? The winning differentiator for me was the 6,500 plus applications already integrated with Okta and the UI experience. Hey, transportation community, this is Luis Lopez, aka the Freight Guru, and today we're going to be talking about single sign-on, specifically on why I chose Okta as our company single sign-on. And, you know, we've talked about single sign-on before, and we had the developers at Beyond Identity here, and now we're going to backtrack and we're going to look at single sign-on and how single sign-on can completely change your business and your onboarding process. So the first thing we're going to talk about, what exactly is single sign-on? Single sign-on allows a user to log in with a single ID and password and access multiple applications and websites once authenticated. Guys, single sign-on. In general, what single sign-on really does is it makes the use of online applications easier for scalability. What that means is that if you're an enterprise or small business with 3, 5, 25, 100 employees, imagine having to give everybody access to the username and password of all websites that you manage. This eliminates the need for username and passwords and giving every employee access to those websites. That's what the main focus of single sign-on is. Now, why did I choose Okta as my single sign-on when there's multiple types of single sign-on SaaS applications available? The winning differentiator for me was the 6,500 plus applications already integrated with Okta and the UI experience. What's a UI experience? UI means the user interface. The application portal where you log in for Okta is super user-friendly. Here's an example of the UI for Okta. We're going to log into Okta and we're going to show you the online user experience for Okta if you decided to work with Okta. Here's me signing into the Okta single sign-on application. Here's the Beyond Identity authenticator identifying my authority to log into the application. Here I've been verified. Here is the Okta UI. As you can see, every website is a widget. And every website application can be clicked and you can automatically sign in. Every user can create their own dashboards. And we're going to be discussing that in greater detail as we view the single sign-on training that we were provided to by Okta. Guys, another thing that with Okta that I really appreciated was their Silver Smart Start process. This is an application that is standalone and is required for an additional fee, but I think is very valuable in onboarding with Okta. The Silver Smart Start process is a 12-week training where for 2 hours a week, you'll be training with an Okta representative on how to do best practices with the Okta UI and onboarding process. Silver Smart Start process has 4 main points: planning, training, deployment, and support handoff. Silver Smart with Okta will provide you from start to finish best practices for the Okta implementation and strategy. Guys, if you're working with Okta, you want to make sure you set goals, and those goals got to be specific to your company needs. Make sure you discuss your major pain points. Make sure that you set topics with Okta in order to implement your best practices. Currently, what email application do you use? O365, Intermediate, Gmail, whichever email application you use, make sure you let them know. Pick your top 10 most important applications to connect. How will you launch your company? Your Silver Smart Start workshop will be 6 workshops, 2 hours each workshop, or it could be broken down into 12 weeks and 1 hour per week if you want as well. Once session starts, they must be used over 3 consecutive weeks. Remote implementation, project communication, project performance, communications such as scope, schedule, cost, and or day-to-day management. Your resources will be your project manager and your technical consultant. Technical and functional type. Communications such as technical questions to support and requests for information. That will be with your technical consultant. End user. Communication to the end users of the Okta solution, such as what is Okta, a go live date. That will be handled by the company that's onboarding, which will be yourself. Escalation path. In the event an escalation is required, the escalation path is as follows: consultant and customer, project manager, and delivery manager. So Okta has a start to finish process that is guaranteed to lead to customer success. This is why I highly recommend the Silver Smart process on top of paying for the Okta subscription. I think this will lead to best practices and the ability for you to scale your business. What Okta will expect of its customers: remain engaged throughout the duration of the professional services by actively participating, providing requested integration information, and otherwise completing its obligations as set forth in the SOW in a timely manner. Main focus here is to cooperate with Okta. Complete the functional and technical analysis and discovery. Establish a communication and escalation plan, including assigning appropriate resources who are knowledgeable about the technical and business aspects involved in the project, including a dedicated project manager. I think, guys, this is one of the most crucial parts of the Okta implementation. You have to make sure you have somebody in your company that's going to be start to finish working with the Okta team. Ultimately, that person not only needs to work with the Okta team, but will also have to onboard your staff. And that will be part of your go live date. Provide access to any third-party services or software as required. Procure services or software and license rights necessary for the Okta service to integrate. This is really important to understand. There's 2 types of main ways to integrate with Okta. It's going to be SAML or SWA. SWA will be the standard username and password on your web browser. The other way of integrating is through SAML, which is a much more authenticated and more robust way. Those SAML integrations, a lot of times, those SaaS companies that you're working with are going to ask for a SAML price on top of their subscription, which means that you're going to have to pay for that SAML integration with that SaaS company. So not only do you have to pay for your Okta subscription, but you also will have to pay for that SAML subscription with your SaaS company. Provide and test all of the necessary remote access by Okta to customer systems prior to the commencement of the professional service. Be responsible for all hardware, virtual machines, operating systems, browser, commercial application code for customer-developed applications, application web server, directory, database, network, proxy, and firewall maintenance and security, as well as an active backup and recovery strategy as applicable for the aforementioned. Provide complete and accurate data for integration with the Okta service. Prepare and manage all corporate communications and training activities to promote greater adoption. This is really crucial because you want to make sure that you communicate with your staff and let them know of this single sign-on application. Let them know what single sign-on means. Explain to them how much better your process is going to be with username and passwords and getting access to SaaS applications using Okta. This is a general pricing format for Okta. As you can see here, we paid for 37 users and it was $3 per user. This is a yearly subscription fee. We were discounted a promotional discount of $1,400 for signing on for a multiple year subscription. Support is free. Single sign-on is $1.90 per user. We paid for 37 users. Universal directory, we paid for 37 users at $1.90. So on average, a yearly subscription fee for 37 users is going to be about $6 per user. And that includes lifecycle management, single sign-on, and universal directory. Your next steps to scheduling with Okta. First step is to schedule your workshops. Participate in those scheduled workshops. Write down questions, and in your next workshop, get those questions answered. And if you're interested in discussing more details with Okta, this is our sales representative that helped us out with the Okta integration process, Michael Nowen. Now, guys, we're going to be focusing on the Smart Process Okta training that I did. So here is a breakdown of that training for your view. Now, remember, I vetted multiple single sign-on providers before I decided to go with Okta. I'm not telling you that Okta is the best one for everybody, but for our company, it was the ideal candidate. And the main reason why was the SWA application integrations, which was over 6,500, as well as the UI experience that I felt was the best UI experience for our demographic of employees. Now, I recommend for you to view this video and get a better idea of how that training process is going to be.
All right, perfect. So I'm going to log into. So I have Beyond Identity Authenticator, so I'm doing that right now. Verified, so instead of doing the validation through the app, right? And then I currently have all these.
You're looking for.
Well, what I'm looking to do is I want to, instead of having to manually enter every employee, there's a way on admin here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
click on admin. Let me click on admin here.
Yeah. Add application. Search for the application intermedia. Okay. It's just used for web application, right? For sending an email. Mm-hmm.
You want me to upload?
Upload. Just give a second after. Click on next. And you can see automatically activate new users. What it will do is it will send activation emails to all your users.
Yeah, that would be ideal. I mean, we're ready to go with this. Like, I'd like to get everybody with at least an email, so I don't have to.
But right now, it will send an email to all your users. If they don't know what exactly Okta is, they might think it is a spam email.
Everybody's aware of Okta already.
Okay.
Yeah,
good.
I'm not worried.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not.
Okay, good. Yeah.
And it's only 38 people. Like, I have access.
Yeah.
That's not crazy.
Okay, as you already added few of the applications, let's take a look. You are managing it through by adding application, right? You can see that application is listed under applications. That means your organization is managing Slack. But if you talk about all these applications, these are your personal applications. I can see. See here, you can see two lists here. One is personal app and the other one is org managed apps. Org managed apps are nothing but the applications that you added manually to the Okta organization. And personal apps are nothing but that you can see in Okta has around 7,000 applications in its application catalog. Sorry. So those will be considered as a personal applications. If you save those applications information, then you can see those as personal applications. To answer your question in a correct way, this plugin does saves the information of the applications that are integrated and that are not integrated to. You got it, right?
Makes sense. But is there a way that I can add?
Mm-hmm.
Is there a way that every time I add, the plugin adds a swab that my entire organization can have access, or no?
Yeah, after you add the application, plugin will automatically does the same thing. You don't need to do any other things. You just need to go back to the applications, and let's give it a try for Indeed.
Let me go to admin, applications.
Add Indeed application.
Yeah, I'm gonna add Indeed.
No. You need to click on add application now.
Sorry. Yeah.
No worries.
I'm going to add Indeed. Now this is going to be a traditional SWA.
Now you can see it's good.
Yep.
Yep, you're good. And in SWA, you can see all these options.
What is best practice? User sets username and password, or no?
Generally, the best practice is user sets username and the password. This is the one. And let's say if you share any account, let's say if you have a service account that is shared by so many
actually,
people.
Indeed is that example. So
then yeah, let's do this.
All right, so let's go to applications. Do I assign to users? How do I assign to groups?
Cancel it.
Oh, here it is. Got it. Okay. You know what? I'm gonna have to add. I want to add a managers, because in reality, I shouldn't assign this to everybody. It should just be managers.
This application, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's unassign. Then
let's
go to the application instead of using this way. I recommend going this way. Yeah. Go to groups here. Unassign.
Got it. So
if you want to test this, I suggest to test by adding a single
that's fine.
user account.
I can add actually.
Or multiple. Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Go back to your end user dashboard and check whether this SWA application works fine or not.
Yeah, there it is.
Guys, so I hope you enjoyed that smart process Okta integration workshop. Now remember that this workshop was specifically for our demographic of staff and for our employees. We vetted multiple single sign-ons before we decided to go with Okta, and we thought Okta was the best based on our parameters and, as I stated before, the 6,500 plus SWA applications that are already built in, and because of the UI. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us more for future LinkedIn and YouTube posts. Take care, guys.